target for possibly as early as September 1991.
That's right.
That I know that there has been a constant cry at Coon Rapids because of the lack of a field house and adequate cafeteria space. So that will really put them on an equal footing with their sister schools. Speaking of sister schools, you've seen the plans for the new Champlain Park High School. Is it at all similar to either Blaine or Anoka?
Not in design. It's a whole different design from those schools. It's actually a school with 4 different wings that will be built around central facilities, and we're looking at about 600 students in each of those wings, hopefully trying to get away from some of the problems of a large school and a large student body and personalize that all a little bit more. Exactly how that's going to be done hasn't been determined at this point. That'll be looked at in the planning process in the next year and actually the next 2 years.
One of the things in my involvement, which has been minimal, I guess, with the school district, one of the things that I find very encouraging is the school board and the administration's position on input. They really encourage people to come and become involved, whether it be on Bengals have rushed the football 19 times for 80 yards. They put the ball in the air 7 times, 3 completions for 63 yards. The let's see, and looking at first downs, we had 6 first downs for Blaine, 1 by pass, 4 by rushing, and 1 by a penalty. For Coon Rapids, they have rushed the football 18 times for 86 yards. Pete Cutchess is 50%, 5 for 10 for 76, and 55 yards rushing the football. And Cutchess with 11 carries for 55. That's impressive. Bernie Knox with 2 catches for 24 yards. Highland has caught 4 passes, or 1 pass. That was good for 39 yards. The leaders for Blaine, Caceres is, let's see if I can figure out this, 1 completion for 8 yards. Jerry Wrightan caught that touchdown pass. They call that one an 18-yard pass completion. That came from Aaron Smith. Blaine with the 6 first downs. Coon Rapids with 5 in the first half, 5 on the ground, and 3 in the air. There's your first half somewhat statistics. We'll be back with the second half of play at Coon Rapids. Again, our score, Coon Rapids 6, Blaine 6. We'll be back with the second half kickoff right after this.
This is backstage at a rock and roll show. There's no drugs. It's just a good time. We don't need drugs. We got rock and roll.
Yeah. Rock and roll's our high.
Yeah.
Brought to you by MTV, RAD, and your local cable system.
Cardinals coach Steve Lukens talking to the official Daryl Winsek as Coon Rapids standing along the near sidelines. Let's recap the scoring as Blaine comes out to do some second half conditioning. Pete Cutchess scored the first touchdown on a 2-yard run. That came at 3:58 mark in the first quarter. The point after by Kaiser was no good. The Cardinals led it 6-0. The Bengals came back on an Aaron Smith to Jerry Wrightan hookup. That came at 7:44 in the second quarter. The point after by Zach Erickson was no good, and we went into halftime all tied at 6. Coach, Coon Rapids won the toss. They deferred. You take the football here to open the second half?
Oh, I think so. I think they have a lot of confidence in the way their team moved the ball in the first half, and I think if I was one of their coaches, I'd be interested in getting that ball and going right at him again. I'm not sure Blaine has totally solved some of the problems this offense is causing them. Well, it remains to be seen in the second half. I think Blaine's got to feel fortunate that they're not down by a touchdown. They've made some big plays and dodged the bullet a couple times and had an incredible touchdown pass from Smith to right hand. It was a great catch and a super throw, and I think they've got to feel fortunate right now, and they've got to do something to solve this secondary from Coon Rapids that is supporting so quickly on the sweeps and runs. They've got to do something to keep these kids downfield, play action pass, maybe throw the ball a little bit more to get them reeling backwards, because they're doing such a great job on the run.
Cardinals secondary is very young. They've got Josh Johnson at a corner, who's a sophomore, Don Kaiser a junior, and Jeff Ellingson also a junior. Their interior linebackers, Gunderson, who's got an interception, and Prisbilla also. That's 5 juniors right there. And Mark Grebner, who comes in off the bench as a corner, is also a sophomore.
And what's very interesting is that Blaine was able to move the football, very well against a very tough Anoka defense, and this Coon Rapids defense has done a better job in stopping them this first half. So you've got to be impressed with the defensive play also, and I'm surprised at the age of these secondary kids. They're playing like veterans out there right now.
Talking with Steve Oline during the break, he said on Coon Rapids' last 3 possessions they've lost yardage. So I think it's important for them to come out and establish their offense early here in the second half.
Was that the last 3 plays or 3 series?
3 out of the last 5 plays.
Well, the one play was interesting, and that's, it seemed like nobody blocked the defensive nose guard who came through untouched to make a very big play. And the other time they tried to run a dive play, and if there's been one play that has not been real successful tonight for Coon Rapids, it's been that dive. I think Blaine's defensive line has done a good job in stopping that play, but everything else has worked at one time or the other.
Erickson tees the football up at the 40-yard line at the west end of the field. Bernie Knox is the deep man, standing inside his own 5-yard line. Erickson's kick is a short one. It'll be picked up by one of the front men on the return. He puts his head down and just battles his way forward. But Coon Rapids again will get the football in good field position on the short kickoff by Erickson. Chad Urchel on the return, and Coon Rapids starts at their own 32, first down and 10. Kutches, the last man to join the Coon Rapids huddle, as he brings the play in. He will send Howard Johnson split wide to the near side. Highland is in the slot. Cardinals, and now we get a whistle.
It looks like delay a game. Bruce, what a way to start the second half. For some reason, it took Cutchins a while to get in the huddle, and interestingly enough, most coaches already know what they're going to run that first play, so something must have happened to get them to change their mind, and it causes the coaches to get the play in late.
They show it as a legal procedure, so it'll be first down and 15 back at the Cardinal 27-yard line. Kutches looks to his wide receivers, who are split out both sides. Now he sends Highland in motion, fakes the handoff on the keeper, runs the right side, needs a block, gets it at the corner, and is finally driven out of bounds in front of the Blaine bench. But after a nice fake, they fake the ball in on the dive, and we're going to get a look at the replay right here.
As we look at the replay, first of all, somebody came in and hit the fullback as the ball was being handed off. You'll notice right here, run into the quarterback. He comes downfield. Look at here, the pitch may have been forward. It's possible that again was another forward lateral, but they got away with it that time.
First down and 10 for the Cards. Kutches short drop, throws, and intercepted by Blaine. The Chad Weeks saw that ball all the way as Kutches laid it out there. Weeks at 6'3", went up and came up with a big INT for the Bengals, and they get the good football at their own 45-yard line.
Big play. Remember last week against Anoka, Weeks came up with 3 outstanding plays in that ball game. I'm very impressed with him.
Yeah, I think 2 of them on offense and 1 on defense. And the defensive play was a big interception. They send the ball carrier in straight ahead and carries it out near the 50-yard line. It will be a pickup of about 5 by Dale Jansen, the junior, 5'11", 175. Second down and 5. In on the stop for the Cardinals was Troy Prisbilla, junior linebacker. Blaine takes a little bit of time in their huddle. Now they send their wide receiver Chad Strand, the sophomore, out wide to the left side. The official now comes out and stands over the ball. Now they instruct the clock operator, wind the clock, and we're going to get underway. Ball at the 49-yard line. Deuce backfield for the Bengals, slot left, motion man to the near side, and hand the football off again. This is Jansen. No, it's Hanna on the carry, and Hanna picks up big yardage as he brings the football down into Coon Rapids territory.
Well, in 2 running plays, Blaine now has picked up 15 yards, so it looks like they may have solved the problem with that penetrating defense. They've hit two nice trap plays here to open the second half.
Jansen comes out as the fullback. Hanna is the wing to the right side. He gets the handoff, tries to swing right, breaks the tackle in the open field, and finally Hanna, the junior running back, is driven out of bounds along the far side.
This could have been a big loss. Vern Muir had running back in the backfield and could not hold on to him, and he ends up getting about a 4-yard gain out of that. As you can see,
Muir was right there, as you
just
said.
missed him on that play. Was not able to wrap his arms.
Second down and 6. They slant off tackle to the right side and again battle their way forward. Pick up close to a first down. That was Jansen on the carry for the Bengals as he runs that slant off tackle to the right side.
Well, another excellent play against a penetrating type of defense is a power play in which you let the man come across the field and kick him out with a fullback. And that's 2 excellent power plays so far for Blaine.
I think we're going to have a face mask penalty against Coon Rapids, and they're going to tack on 15 more yards after the gain by Jansen. Ball at about the 15-yard line of Coon Rapids. First down and 10 for the Bengals. Again, they go off tackle to the right side with Jansen. And Jansen picks up a short gain, and we've got a penalty flag down. And the Cardinals got doing some applauding, so I think we'll have a walk-off against the Bengals.
It was a possible false start somewhere. And, well, that hurts because, as you know, Blaine is a running team, and if you can get them in long yardage situations, you usually can have much better success stopping them. They're basically a run-oriented team.
Ball comes back out to the 20-yard line. It'll be a first down and 15 for the Bengals. Aaron Smith sends a man in motion to the near side, and then they hand the football off inside and pick up a nice gain. Again, carrying the football is Dale Jansen. Jansen moved from left half last week to fullback this week, and he displaces Nate Dubovich at that fullback spot, and he runs with some power inside between the tackles. Pickup of 4, second down and 11. Down at the 16-yard line of Coon Rapids. Reverse pivot by the quarterback again, straight ahead, and they power their way. And we're just playing power football right now inside, and test of wills right here, Coach.
But it seems like the coaches from Blaine feel that it's time to start knocking people off the ball and playing in-your-nose football. And that's what they're doing.
Number 32, Jansen, the junior fullback, on the carry again. It will set up a third down and 9 from the 12-yard line of the Cardinals. The game of big plays. Let's see what Smith calls here. Tries to, and he has the football off as he ran the fake out beautifully, but the Cardinals didn't buy the fake at all, and the ball carrier gets tackled for no gain. Jerry Rattan on the stop, on the carry.
Watch the replay, folks. On the left side, Vern Muir will come up and turn this sweep inside, and it allows Smith to finish the ball carrier off. Again, they've not been able to solve the problem with great secondary support from Coon Rapids.
4th and 11, the Bengals go. One back set. Wide receiver set both ways. Smith looks into the corner of the end zone. Throws, got a man there. And we've got a penalty flag down at about the 4-yard line. And let's check out the call. Let's check out the penalty as the Bengals celebrate. And now Coon Rapids doing a little celebrating as I think we had an illegal man downfield called against the Bengals. And what a disappointment on that touchdown pass.
And it was executed very well. These are the things that give coaches ulcers. You make the right call, we execute, and then somebody not thinking is downfield who has no business being down there.
On 4th and 11 from the 12, Smith hooked up in the end zone for the touchdown pass. But again, we had a legal man downfield, so it'll bring up again a 4th down situation for the Bengals. And it's been a game of big plays as Blaine sends 2 replacements in from the far sideline. Look for Chad Weeks at 6'3", 6'4", for the wide receiver to be involved in this passing play with Aaron Smith.
Last week they tried a couple times to run the fade down the right sidelines to him and just hang it up and let his big 6'3" go up and get the ball. Be interesting to see if they plan on doing that here.
Weeks is split wide to the near side. We'll keep an eye on him. Smith dropped plenty of time, throws it to that far side, and we got a catch made and a penalty flag down.
I believe it's offensive interference. If we can get a replay, we have no replay on that, but it certainly looked like there was
Weeks decided to push the defender. Chad Weeks on the reception, and you're exactly right, Mark. Offensive pass interference, so that touchdown hookup is all for naught, and they'll tack on an additional penalty to that play.
And the unfortunate thing from Blaine's viewpoint is that there was no reason for him to push off. He's at least 2-3 inches taller, and he can out-jump this young man, and ends up instead. It looks like it's I'm not sure what's happened here, but it looks like Blaine loses the football on
loss
this
of down
penalty. Very, very costly.
Ball comes out to the 35-yard line on the loss of down on offensive pass interference. The Cardinals start at their own 35-yard line, 1st down and 10. Blaine really was in great shape to get on the board and then had 3 consecutive penalties, and the last one proved to be the most costly on the offensive pass interference against Chad Weeks. The Cardinals come out of the huddle and they line up. Now we get a whistle, and I think they're ready to start the clock and get things going with 6:52 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Highland goes in motion. Ball's loose. Blaine's got it. I think the ball went off the hip of the ball carrier, Durdall. Mike Durdall was the intended ball carrier. The ball went off his hip and came to the ground, and the Bengals recover and get the football back after one play, again in great field position.
Well, it seems like Coon Rapids are experts at coming from behind in the 4th quarter. It's almost as if they want to let Blaine get ahead so they can come back, because 2 series, 2 turnovers.
Tried to pick up the number of the man on the recovery, and I missed it as he went down and smothered the football with his body. Smith hands the football off straight ahead. This, I believe, is Dubovich who's into the game, and he got very little. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Matt Lensmeyer in on the stop for the Cardinals.
We haven't really heard Lensmeyer's name too much. So we've heard more of Smith and Johnson, but that was an outstanding play as he destroyed the block and held his ground and made an excellent play.
Blaine comes out in a deuce backfield. Now they send Hanna in motion. He gets the quick pitch, gets to the corner, turns it upfield, breaks the tackle, and then is spun around and knocked out of bounds.
This is typical right-hand run. Get him to the outside, let him use his outstanding quickness, and see if he can set people up and get him to miss and head to the outside.
Mark, let's take a look at the replay on the run by Jerry Rattan.
Watch the motion back come up, block the safety. Nice little move to the outside and out of bounds.
Third down and a yard to go for the Bengal first down. They hand it off and go off tackle left side, and they've got the first down and more. Coon Rapids coach has run 2 offensive plays here in the third quarter, and they got the kickoff.
And I'm sure that Coon Rapids coaches feel very fortunate that they're not behind. And we kept saying in the first half, Blaine just probably felt fortunate that they weren't behind in this game.
Gunderson on the tackle on Dubovich. First down and 10 for the Bengals. This possession as a result of a turnover. Smith again hands it off on a delay as they run it again straight ahead. Dubovich becomes the ball carrier again, and again he gets back to the line of scrimmage where he stopped.
One thing I would point out is if this is a close game near the end, I think Coon Rapids' offense is a more wide open offense and probably has a better chance of coming from behind than Blaine's. Blaine is more of a ball control offense.
Aaron Smith brings them out in a deuce backfield. Hands it off, gets it to Rattan, gets to the corner, cuts it upfield, and is finally driven out of bounds, but not before he picked up big yardage. He is ever dangerous.
Again, we have a replay coming up, and you're going to see, number one, right-hand speed, and secondly, his ability to make people miss. Watch him turn it on coming around the corner. As he gets down here, watch him sidestep a tackler and get out on the 1-yard line.
The first down and goal to go for Blaine from the Cardinal 1-yard line. They have never led in the football game. And quarterback sneak by Aaron Smith is good for the touchdown. Smith scores with 4:37 left on the clock here in the third quarter to give Blaine a 12-6 lead. Coach, what do you do here? Go for the kick or you go for 2?
Well, from what I've seen of Blaine's kicking game so far, I think I'd probably go for the 2 right now.
I think that's what we're going to see is the attempt at a 2-point conversion as they come out with Rattan behind the quarterback. Rattan looks like he's going to, I think we're going to have a fake on this one. As he's back with one knee down, the ball is down, it's mishandled, he picks it up, looks into the end zone, throws, and got his man. I think that was a pass play all the way.
I'm not sure because it's hard to say if it was planned or not because the ball was fumbled from the snap. And I don't know if Nelly taught him how to fumble that snap and look good. That's a heck of a coaching job. I'm not sure if that wasn't what we call a fire, in which everybody hears fire and runs a pass without knowing that there's trouble back in the backfield.
Our score is Blaine 14, Coon Rapids 6. We'll be back with the Bengal kickoff in 30 seconds.
Most of us talk to our friends about sex.
Yeah, but how much do our friends know?
Just about as much as you do.
Or as little.
You need to talk to someone you can really trust.
Someone who knows how to find the answers.
Someone who loves you, like a mother or a father.
Why not your mother and father?
Right. Planned Parenthood has programs that can help too.
Talk about it. Call Planned Parenthood.
Zach Erickson's kick is returned by Bernie Knox, and the ball's loose. Blaine says they came up with a fumble, and yes, indeed they have. Bernie Knox fumbled the kick return, and the Cardinals have run 2 plays from scrimmage, and they've received 2 kickoffs here in the third quarter.
They must be expecting a comeback. I mean, this team has pulled out some miraculous games already this year, but I don't think you want to let Blaine get up 20 to 6 or 21 to 6 on you right now.
Ball at the Cardinal 31-yard line. Motion man to the near side. Smith, quick pitch, ball on the bounce, picked up, and boy, when you got things going your way, you get that bounce, and Rattan got the bounce, but we've got a penalty flag down on the play. Looked like he was trying to dribble it.
The pitch was a hair too far out in front, and we've got a replay coming up here. We'll see that Rattan, as quick as he is, the ball is just a little bit too far out in front of him. He could only get one hand on the ball. And now we have a clipping penalty. And I thought I saw a possible face mask also, but I guess not. The officials are going to bring him back 15 yards for a clip.
Cardinals watch the officials walk it off 15 yards for the clip. It'll be a first down and 25 for Blaine. Ball at the 46-yard line of the Cardinals. Coon Rapids front 4, Semler, Smith, Lensmeyer, and Johnson.
So far, Blaine has not been able to overcome any of these penalties for first downs or touchdowns in the ball game.
Quarterback Smith looks right now, throws left. He gets a man in the flat. He bounces off a shoulder tackle and fights his way forward. Jerry Rattan was on the reception of the pass from Smith. Nice setup on that one, Coach. Looking right, coming back to the left side.
It's a fairly safe play and a nice call in this situation. But they still have a second down and close to 20 yards for a first down.
Blaine splits a wide man out to the near side. That is Marty, Kyle Marty. Then a come out wing left. They send the wing man in motion. Smith reverse pivot, throws across the middle and gets the completion. I believe it was his tight end, A.J. Kachiris. No, it's 81, Kyle Marty, the split end. On the catch as they run that quick slant, and Don Kaiser made the stop.
Well, I like the way that they're attacking them. A little screen here, a 7-8 yard pass. They're in 4-down territory. They got 2 more passes to get about 11 yards. They don't have to get it all at once.
Third down and 12 according to the clock. Single back set, slot left. Got a penalty flag down as we've got a couple men in motion, and Smith's pass to the far side is complete, but it's going to come back.
And I know Nelly has got to be pulling hair out of his head. A well-executed play again, called back because we've got 2 men in motion. If you look on the film, you'll see both slots. We didn't get that, unfortunately, but both slots went in motion towards each other. And of course, that's illegal. You can only have 1 man in motion on any given play.
So it'll bring up a third down and 17 yards to go when they walk off the 5-yard penalty, and now they do.
Again, I think Blaine has got to look. 3rd and 17. Let's pick up 8 or 9 on the first play, and let's look at the other 8 or 9 to finish it off.
Don't try and get it all in one play.
That's right. And right now, that secondary's laying off deep. I think you can throw in front of them. And Smith has done a very good job of throwing the football here.
Chad Strand, the sophomore, is split wide to the left or far side. He is number 80. Smith rolls left under a rush, and he'll go down. He gets knocked down on the play, and the tackler came through for Coon Rapids. Jason Semler, who came in untouched.
Outstanding play. I think this is one of the problems with a wing T type of offense. Much of their passing game has to have a play fake, and the play fake didn't fool anybody that time.
John Frank stands back in his own territory, gets a good snap, hits the football, high end-over-end kick, fair catch called for, and then Knox watch it bounce around, and the Bengals down the football, and Coon Rapids will get the football back, but deep in their own end. Knox put his hand up, signaling for the fair catch, and then they just watch it bounce behind him and hope that it would roll into the end zone.
Right now, I think Coon Rapids has got to look at, we got to have some luck this half. We've had 3 turnovers, and now we have the ball inside our 10-yard line. Something's got to happen for us right now.
Coon Rapids will start this drive deep in their own territory, about the 5-yard line. In fact, I think it's just inside the 5-yard line, or maybe outside. Let's call it 1st and 10 from the 5. Official gives the indication to start the clock. Cardinals again running that run and shoot offense, that double slot. Kutches, sets, throws, got a receiver. To the far side, the ball's loose, and it rolled out of bounds. Coon Rapids got another break, and Blaine's getting people.
Well, actually, that's the first big break in Coon Rapids' direction this half. That easily could have been a Blaine ball inside the 20. Instead, it's Coon Rapids' ball, and it looks like close to a first down, and it'll be 2nd and 1.
Our score is Blaine 14, Coon Rapids 6. 1 minute, 20 seconds remain here in the 3rd quarter. Tansky split wide to the near side. In the slot is Highland. Motion man comes our way. That's Marciniak. Kutches looks, throws back, had a man, and he got hit as the football made contact with his hands. He got a helmet driven right into the chest. That was Mike Deardahl, the back coming out of the backfield, and he really got tagged.
Well, if you're a defensive player, those are the ones you love. The ball's hanging up there. You're coming full speed forward, and you might as well catch a football because this young man's going to hit you. Watch this. Boom. It didn't look as exciting on TV as it was in person, folks.
It was a big hit, no question. I think we saw kind of a glancing blow on the screen. Kutches on the keeper, and he picks up a very short gain on that as they faked the dive, and Kutches kept the ball on the keeper, but they got the necessary yardage for the first down, and that was the crucial situation as the Cardinals starting this drive deep in their own territory at their 5. Joel Tannum, number 77, in on the stop for the Bengals. Down to 50 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Johnson will come wide to the near side. Knox wide to the far side. Deardahl is the lone back behind the quarterback. Motion man comes to the near side. They run a little draw. Deardahl gets to the outside and tries to cut it upfield and is driven out of bounds right in front of his own bench. As it was Cotter. Mark Cotter ran that draw, and the fake was beautifully executed by the quarterback and the running back.
And Cotter, as you're going to see on this replay, Cotter was able to keep his feet as he was stumbling through the hole, and a great block was made downfield that took out 2 Blaine defenders and allowed him to get up the sidelines. Watch right here, a block, a possible clip there that allowed him to get another 10 or 12 yards.
Cardinals touches, throws, got knocked out there, and overthrows him. Play action pass as he sprinted down the line of scrimmage. Knox beat the defender. The ball was laid out, but it was a little too long. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
I think that Kutches had to release the ball a little bit sooner than he wanted. He got a heavy rush. His receiver was open, but he had to let it go a little bit too soon.
Ball remains at the Coon Rapids 39-yard line on this 2nd and 10 situation. Highland slot left. The right side, of course, the far side of the field wide open. Now they'll send another man in motion. Ball is fumbled. Let's see who comes up with it. And the Bengals come up with a football. Coon Rapids with their third or fourth turnover here in the second half.
A totally different offense this second half. That's now the third turnover by their offense, plus we had another turnover by the kicking game, I believe.
We're gonna come.
And it just seemed, Bruce, like it was a mishandled ball from center. I don't know if it bounced out when it hit a guard or what happened.
Well, let's see if we can pick it up on our replay. But Blaine did come up with a loose ball. They sent a man in motion.
Cutchins lost the ball right from center.
On the exchange, that's where the fumble occurred, and Blaine recovered the ball. That's the end of the third quarter with our score, Blaine 14, Coon Rapids 6. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter in 60 seconds. Coach, the Bengals have had great field position the majority of this third quarter as Coon Rapids continues to turn it over.
And the Bengals had an excellent 5-6 yard gain on that first down. By the way, Coon Rapids, ladies and gentlemen, has scored all of its points to this game in the fourth quarter this year.
We'll see how they respond as we are early here into the fourth quarter. The Bengals run a sweep. Breaking a tackle is number 39, Hannah, and Hannah's going to get driven out of bounds inside the 5 yard line at about the 4 yard line. And the junior, Hannah, showed some great speed as, was that Jansen 32 or Hannah 39?
It was, I think it was 39, which is Hannah. Did a great job. He broke 2 tackles. He got a super block from his guard to spring him free. That was the big block coming back.
It'll be first down and goal to go from the 3 yard line of the Cardinals. Those light blue numbers are very difficult to read. It's too bad they don't have the navy blue numbers. Yeah, especially when you're looking through a wall. Handoff straight ahead. I think that's Dubovich, the fullback, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll bring up a second down and goal to go from the Coon Rapids 3.
And Blaine's offensive line starting to take command of this football game. They had excellent success running in the third quarter, and they came out here running the ball again in the fourth in an impressive drive.
Bengals over the center, Swanson over the football. Smith goes on a quarterback sneak, and I don't think he got it. He tried to go behind his left guard and tackle. That's Procopio and Hofer, and he came up short of the end zone. We'll bring up a third down and goal to go. Let's call the line of scrimmage the 1 yard line.
Blaine's still in command. They've got 2 downs here to pick up this touchdown. Even if they don't make it, you're looking at a 99.5 yard drive for Coon Rapids just to score a touchdown. They'll be lucky to get out of the hole.
Wide receiver set to the right or far side. Smith goes again on the quarterback sneak. This time we get the indication from the head linesman touchdown. So Aaron Smith with his second quarterback sneak of the second half, and that puts Blaine up by a score of 20-6. That comes with 10:06 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
very simply, a quarterback sneak. It's the easiest play in football. For a half a yard, I think most coaches believe that you should be able to get in the end zone on a quarterback sneak.
Erickson will try the point after touchdown, and the kick is no good, off to the left side. So the score remains Blaine 20, Coon Rapids 6. Mark and I will be back with the Blaine kickoff in 30 seconds.
It really hurts when people act like they could get it by touching me or living in the same building or something. The worst is from people who know better. The funny thing is, most of the time, I feel great. And I'm doing things I always wanted to do. Help fight AIDS, not people with AIDS. Call the AIDS line.
Here's Frank, Anoka Ramsey coach Mark Moberg back with you at Coon Rapids High School. The Cardinals trail at 20-6, and the Coon Rapids fans on their feet looking for one of these patented comebacks from the Cardinals.
So far, Coon Rapids has self-destructed in the second half, and they've got to do something to get on the board here.
On the return is Highland for the Coon Rapids Cardinals, and this looks like more of a scrim than it does a kickoff return. We had 22 bodies around that football as everybody seemed to be moving up in unison.
It looks like a rugby match out there. Kind of, they jockeyed back and forth. Nobody knew where the ball carrier was. He was lost in the middle of that pile.
Ball back to the 36-yard line of the Cardinals. First down and 10, and this is a key possession for Coon Rapids. Knox splits wide to the near side. He's in double coverage. Single back set behind the quarterback, Pete Cutchess. Cutchess running that option play. He hits the corner, and just out of the corner of his eye took a quick look at the trailer, and then cut it upfield and brought it across the 40 to the 41.
That was a good read. His pitch man, he possibly would have had to pitch the ball into some traffic, and a good decision to hang on to the football. One thing you can say about this Coon Rapids offense, it is wide open. It's the type of offense that can easily come back from a 2-touchdown deficit, particularly if they can execute.
Wide side of the field is the left or the far side, the Blaine side. Standing room only crowd here at Coon Rapids. Fake handoff to the fullback. Pitch, this is Marciniak, and Marciniak's going to maybe pick up 2 yards as they fake the dive to Deerdahl. The quarterback, Cutchess, pulled the ball back out and then pitched it to Marciniak, and he got very little.
It's interesting that Coon Rapids has gone back to its running game with 8:32. It's keeping the clock running. I don't think they can do this too much longer. I think they're, unless they get a big first down here, they're pretty much confined to the air game from here on out.
Steve Arsdorf made the stop, the strong side safety on the last play. Cutchess short drop, throws across the middle, got a receiver, and he hangs on to the football in heavy traffic and carries it out to near midfield. And a good throw and a big hit. And let's see who came up with that. I think it was...
That was Weeks again. The big free safety came up and laid a big hit, but not until after the first down is made.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Cards on that 10-yard hookup. Again, short drop across the middle and just about the same pass route. And on the completion that time was Chris Floating. Made the catch coming out of the backfield as Floating and Cutchess hook up 2 passes in a row.
And particularly the first catch was impressive because he really got nailed as he caught the football. But this is the problem with the double slot. You ignore those slot backs and they start hurting.
Pickup of 9 on that last completion to Floating. Cutchess runs the option. He's going to get wrapped up and knocked down for a loss on the play. It was 3rd down and 1. And again, they faked it to the dive man. Cutchess pulled it out and ran parallel to the line of scrimmage tried to turn it up, but the Bengals got good penetration.
And Cutchins, again, had trouble with the snap from center and through the whole timing of the playoff. Something's happening. The ball's wet. He's pulling out too quick, or the center's not getting it up fast enough.
Cardinal coaching staff, we took a look at them along the near sideline. Pass hooks up to Knox as Knox runs a little down and out pattern as he comes to the near sidelines on the catch. Shapolsky made the stop for Blaine as he had some help from Jason Lockinen and Steve Arsdorf also in the area as Bernie Knox comes up with the catch, and that'll be enough for a Coon Rapids first down.
That's just a little three-step timing pattern and a quick 3 to 5 yard out. Ball delivered right on the money. Excellent play.
Ball at the 36-yard line of Blaine. Clock running. 6:41 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Motion man Marciniak right to left. And Cutchins had a problem on the exchange. Rolls left, throws, got a man who had to go down to the ground, and he couldn't come up with a catch. That was Marciniak, Jeff Marciniak, the diminutive wingback at 5'7", 154, went down on his knees to try to make that catch. But again, we had a problem, Coach, on the exchange from center to quarterback.
And not only that, great penetration from the defensive line. Still, Cutchins almost made a fantastic play out of what looked like disaster from the beginning.
Second down and 10 for the Cardinals from the Blaine 36. Marciniak goes in motion to the left side. Cutchins rolls left. They needed a block, and he battled his way forward, but good penetration there by Blaine as they got into the backfield. And it's Blake Nelson here in the fourth quarter. Motion man Marciniak right to left. And Cutchins had a problem on the exchange. Rolls left, throws, got a man who had to go down to the ground, and he couldn't come up with a catch. That was Marciniak, Jeff Marciniak, the diminutive wingback at 5'7", 154, went down on his knees to try to make that catch. But again, we had a problem, Coach, on the exchange from center to quarterback.
And not only that, great penetration from the defensive line. Still, Cutchins almost made a fantastic play out of what looked like disaster from the beginning.
Second down and 10 for the Cardinals from the Blaine 36. Marciniak goes in motion to the left side. Cutchins rolls left. They needed a block, and he battled his way forward, but good penetration there by Blaine as they got into the backfield. And it's Blake Nelson, the D tackle, who got in, and he made first contact and helped knock the quarterback Cutchins down for a loss.
In order to stop a sprint out attack such as this run and shoot, you have to bring two people from the outside, and that time they bought two. One was picked up and the other one came through on touch.
Down to 5:57 in the clock running. That's the time remaining here in the fourth quarter. Single back set. Highland goes in motion left to right. Cutchins almost got wrapped up in the backfield, and they get the ball to Cotter, and Cotter runs that draw, and he's going to be very, very close to the Coon Rapids first down. Cotter's been in about 3 or 4 plays, but they have been big plays. One a screen pass and a couple of draws.
And again, this is the same identical draw play that they used a few series earlier, and wide open, huge hole, semi-truck type hole.
Fourth down, less than a yard to go for the Coon Rapids first down. We're approaching the 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Knox comes wide to the near side. Let's see what Cutchins does here. He sends a man in motion, fakes the dive, keeps it, goes off tackle, and I think he's got the first down yardage. As again, he faked it to the dive man, kept it himself, and went off tackle behind the left side of his line.
Again, Blaine is sneaking up their outside backers and strong safeties in order to get an extra person rushing off the end. They did it that time, but in their case, unfortunately, we're not able to stop Cutchins.
Blaine lines Shapolsky up with Knox. They're split wide to the near side. Cutchins under a heavy rush, gets away from a tackler, throws, got a receiver, and he's double teamed and cut down, but not before he picked up a nice gain. The receiver was Chris Highland, the wingback, swinging out of the backfield and up the middle.
You know, Bruce, these last 3 weeks, we've seen 3 fine quarterbacks. We've seen Parent from Anoka, Smith doing a super job here for Blaine, and now this young man, Cutchins, is a big play quarterback.
First down and 10 for the Cards on the pass completion from Cutchins to Highland. Ball at the 16-yard line of Blaine. Cutchins drops back, throws, looks to the end zone, and just overthrows Bernie Knox, who had double coverage.
It was a tough throw. Knox didn't have a lot of room to work with. He had 2 defenders down there. The ball would have had to been perfectly thrown to have even a chance of scoring.
On the incompleted pass, the clock stops with 4:08 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And if we check the scoreboard, Blaine leads in this game by a margin of 20-6. Cotter is the fullback. Keep an eye on him. He is a threat. He's in there for Deerdahl behind the quarterback. He gets the handoff, tries to break a Jersey tackle as he fights his way forward for short yardage. Mark Cotter, the ball carrier.
It was hard to see the action from where we were sitting, but that was either an attempt to run that draw again or a quick trap. This time Blaine had it defended.
With the clock showing 3:54 left, the Cardinals take a timeout. Coach Moberg and I will be back with more high school football action from Coon Rapids in 30 seconds.
Yes, and how are you, son?
Mom, I'm ready for some sweet potato pie.
We wish you were here with us instead of being laid up in the hospital. You know our prayers are with you, son. We love you.
Don't let AIDS kill your relations. Join the fight. Get the facts about AIDS. Talk with your family. Talk to your friends. For more information, call us.
Twin Cities Suburban Conference score is Blaine 20, Coon Rapids 6, and Coach, somewhat of an irony in Cardinals' first 2 games, they couldn't get on the board until the fourth quarter. Tonight they score in the first quarter, and they've been held scoreless ever since, but they've had a number of great opportunities.
And easily they could have had another touchdown and possibly a third in the first half, and I think when they go back and look at the films, they're going to see some blown opportunities that may be the biggest factor in this football game.
Turnovers. Guaranteed to turn a coach's hair gray, I'll tell you. Cutchins is under center. Again, he's got Cotter now as the lone back in the backfield. Marciniak in motion to the left side. Cutchins fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws, and the pass is partially blocked and almost caught. It was deflected off the hands of one of the defenders at the line of scrimmage and did not have a good angle to make the completion.
Well, that was probably I don't want to say the worst, but it was not a very well thrown ball. Cutchins has been putting the ball right on the money. That time, instead of delivering a bullet, he tried to lay it in there.
4th down and 11. Big play here for the Coon Rapids Cardinals. They send Johnson and Knox wide to the left and right side respectively. Marciniak, the motion man, to the left. Fumble on the exchange, and Blaine makes no difference. The ball's loose. They had to go 11 yards, and the Bengals recover. That is the 5th turnover by Coon Rapids here in the second half. And talk about shooting yourself in the foot. That's what the Cardinals have managed to do.
And we had a great opportunity to see that exchange, and it just looked like the ball squirted right out of his hands from wetness or whatever it is. But it didn't look like he pulled out too soon, and the ball looked like it was centered.
5 fumbles, and they've lost all 5. So the Cardinals are 0 for 5 when they put the football down on the ground, and you can't afford it. Blaine is going to figure out a way now to try and run out the clock, and they will be very content to do that, leading by 14 points with the clock showing just over 3 minutes remaining. Mark, they'll use all the time they can in the huddle, come out, wait for the clock to run down, and snap it at the final second, I'm sure.
And especially with a 2-touchdown lead, you don't have to worry about punting deep in your own territory. Even if it's blocked, they still have to score another one to beat you. So they'll run this thing down as long as they possibly can.
Aaron Smith, the senior signal caller, takes the snap, hands the football off as they run a sweep to the right side. And that's number 39, Hannah, on the carry, and he picks up a short gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down, and let's call it a 4 yards to go for the Blaine first down. Coon Rapids calls their second timeout here in the second half.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that 6 fumbles? Didn't they have a fumbled reception that trickled out of bounds? So they had actually six times that ball came out.
Boy, oh boy, that 6 is too many almost on a season, but it's a hard-hitting football game. With a timeout on the field, 2:32 left here in the football game. Our score is Blaine 20, Coon Rapids 6. Mark and I will be back with more high school football in 30 seconds. Correct. We are back to play here as the Bengals break the huddle and come out over the football. 3rd down and 4 situation for Blaine. They come out slot left. On the sweep to the near side. Boys, he got running room. That is Hannah, and Hannah is just grabbed by the last man and knocked down into the Coon Rapids territory.
Hannah's run very well the second half. That's a second long gainer. He took about a 15 to 20 yard run down to about the 2 or 3 earlier. And I'm impressed with his quickness.
Me
He's got
too.
Excellent quickness.
He's not much bigger than right hand, but they're both real quick backs. Again, they come out in a single back set, slot right. Line of scrimmage is the 41-yard line of Coon Rapids. 2:04 left. Get the ball to Jansen, and Jansen is smothered. Number 18, Don Kaiser, was the first man there, and along with Grebner, they were in on the stop, and Coon Rapids is going to use their 3rd and final timeout of the football game.
Well, you have to give credit also to Blaine's defense. They came up with a lot of big plays. They got the interception to open the second half. They jumped on those fumbles. They were opportunistic, and they did what they had to do to win. I don't think Nellie's probably totally satisfied with their play, but they have made some big plays.
Our score again is Blaine 20, Coon Rapids 6. We'll be back with more Twin Cities suburban football action in 30 seconds.
Hey, Champ, the Surgeon General has reported there is a direct link between smoking and heart disease. We know that you can live without it, but can you honestly say you can live with it? Think it over.
I'd rather quit than fight heart disease. Smoking can really knock you out.
The American Heart Association. We're fighting for your life.
Bengals break the huddle, and they come out over the football. 2nd down and 11. Again, this time they come out in that deuce backfield. Smith hands the football off. This is Hannah again. Hannah gets pushed down and out of bounds But Hanna, again, showing his speed. It's Grebner who made the stop. The sophomore quarterback had to hustle to get into the vicinity to knock him down.
Coon Rapids is in a position where they've got to start blitzing, doing anything they can, grabbing the football, punching it out, whatever they have to do to get the football. That time they blitzed inside, guessed wrong, the play came outside.
And Hanna is very, very quick, and the officials are going to bring the chains over from the far side to the near sidelines and check them out. And some good news for Coon Rapids. We look down on the Cardinal side of the field, and Bob Drowns, who underwent surgery less than 2 weeks ago. In fact, 2 weeks ago tomorrow morning is along the Coon Rapids sidelines. And Bob, it's good to see you back. Just hope he kind of takes things easy, as he's been out of commission for the last couple of weeks. So he is nice to see him up and about along the Coon Rapids sidelines. Bengals come out over the football, take their time. They are in no hurry as they come out slot right, single back set. They send a man in motion. This is Noga. Noga cuts it in, drives his way forward, keeps his legs moving, and picks up another big chunk of yardage. That is Noga, and they are running Shane Noga and Brad Hanna. They've used 5 or 6 running backs tonight.
Well, also Coon Rapids has put in a number of reserves into the ball game. What a opportunity to give some of these kids probably their first chance to play their varsity game, and I think that's great.
Ball at the Cardinal 24-yard line. Smith again watching that clock in the west end of the end zone, gets the handoff. This is Noga again, and they stretch him out, and we're going to get a late, I think we're going to get a late hit as Noga got run out of bounds, and one of the scarlet jerseys got there a little bit late. I think that'll prove to be a 15-yard penalty against Coon Rapids.
But I believe there possibly was a holding call of some kind also. We may see offsetting penalties on this play.
The officials discussing it at about the 25-yard line, talking over the various options, and we will get the official call from referee Don Burtek. Dead ball foul, personal foul on Coon Rapids. Dead ball foul, personal foul on Blaine. So, as you said, offsetting penalties, and that will make it 3rd down, and let's call it a long 3 yards to go for the Bengal first down. They've got to get just inside the Coon Rapids 20-yard line for the first down.
Right now, a lot of these young men from Coon Rapids, first chance for many of them to play probably this year, want an opportunity to keep this Blaine #1 offense from scoring.
Steve Lukens talking to his charges along the near sidelines. Again, the Bengals will be very content to let the clock run down. It's down less than 20 seconds now. They hand the football up. This is Noga again, and Noga seeing some infrequent duty, but really wants to show himself to the coaching staff that he can do the job.
And he's running hard. But I'll tell you right now, I think probably the best thing is to sit on this ball with the clock's going to run. The game
They're not going to.
over.
Yeah, they won't run another play as we're down to 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's the end of the football game. Our final score is Blaine 20, Coon Rapids 6. We'll be back with a summary of tonight's game right after this 2-minute timeout.
Charles, what would you recommend?
May I suggest something delicious, light, and low in cholesterol? Do you realize the lower the cholesterol in your body, the lower your chance of heart disease?
No, I didn't know that.
Would I lie?
Well, I'm for less heart disease.
Well, so am I.
Does my heart good.
Delicious, Charles. Thanks for the tip.
Well, if there's one thing I know, it's a good tip.
The American Heart Association. We're fighting for your life.
My father taught me to steal and to pitch. Today I struck out 7 and stole home. I think Dad would have been proud. Coach was. He said he wished Dad had taken as good care of himself as he did of me and Billy. Billy won't talk about it, and Mom can't stop crying. I don't know what it's like to have a heart attack, except I can see it hurts. It hurts bad.
You can help prevent heart disease. We can tell you how.
If you live in Minnesota and are worried about how to pay for health care for your children, you should know about the Minnesota Children's Health Plan. The Children's Health Plan is a low-cost insurance program that pays for outpatient health care for children ages 1 through 8. It also pays for eyeglasses and prescriptions. If your family income meets certain guidelines, you may qualify for the Children's Health Plan. For information, call 297-3862 or 1-800-652-9747.
After you've worked so hard to look your best, remember, the smell of one cigarette can ruin the entire effect.
Two teams surrounding their respective coaches as we look at our screen. The score, Blaine 20, Coon Rapids 6. Mark, it was a ball control football game for Blaine in the fourth and final quarter, and Coon Rapids with 6 fumbles, and one of them, as you commented earlier, went out of bounds. The other 5 were lost to Blaine.
I'll tell you, it's very difficult, I think, right now for Coon Rapids, but I think you have to say that if this team can cut out those kinds of mistakes, from what we've seen of Anoka, and obviously Anoka's a heck of a football team, and they're playing Stillwater tonight. This Coon Rapids team can play with anybody right now. One thing you have to say and give credit, though, to Blaine is they made the big plays. Their ball control running game in the second half started to control and dominate the football game. Coon Rapids, I think, did exactly what they didn't want to do, let Blaine get up on top of them. I think Blaine's the kind of team where you have to get on top of them and force them to go to the passing game to beat you, and they were not able to do it even though they had their opportunities in the first half.
No, the Bengals, as you say, are definitely a ground attack team. They rushed for 104 yards in the fourth quarter. In fact, young Mr. Hanna, the junior running back for Blaine, that's Brad Hanna, rushed for 91 of the 104 yards, and they really had no need to put the football in the air. Their ground game was going very well.
And I'm sure that's the one aspect of this football game that Blaine coaching staff will be very happy about. There's some other aspects I think that they feel they're going to have to go to the drawing board and figure out what happened, and particularly early in the first half, the way Coon Rapids was able to move that football against their defense.
Turnovers, penalties were really a big factor tonight.
Blaine in the first half was not able to overcome any of the penalties, and particularly when they got in good field position, and Coon Rapids was able to overcome on their touchdown drive a 10 or 15 yard penalty, a clipping call, and was able to overcome that and put it in the end zone. In the second half, I think Blaine probably could have scored a few more points had they not had the penalties, and I'm sure that's one area where Nelly's is pretty upset.
Well, let us look at some statistics courtesy of Steve O'Lean. Coon Rapids with 121 yards in the air, 140 on the ground, net yardage 261. The Cardinals ran 49 plays from scrimmage. They fumbled 6 times and lost 5 and had 1 pass intercepted. For Blaine, they passed for 78 yards, rushed for 239. Total offense on the night, 317. Bengals had 45 snaps from the line of scrimmage. They had no fumbles, lost none, of course, had 1 pass intercepted. The scoring plays in the football game, Coon Rapids took the lead in the first quarter. Pete Cutchess ran in from 2 yards out with 3:58 left on the clock. The kick by Kaiser was no good. Coon Rapids led it 6-0. Then Aaron Smith hooked up on an 18-yard pass completion to Jerry Wrightan, That came at 7:44 of the second quarter. The point after was no good. Going in an intermission, the game tied at 6. In the third quarter, Aaron Smith went in at the 4:37 mark on a 1-yard quarterback sneak. The pass two-point conversion was good to give Blaine a 14-6 lead. And again, Aaron Smith on a 1-yard quarterback sneak. That came at 10:06 of the fourth quarter. Erickson's point after kick was no good, and eventually the final score was Blaine 20 and Coon Rapids 6. Coach, any final comments as we look at some statistics that Steve Olin has given us? I guess the big glaring statistic is 6 turnovers on the day for Coon Rapids, 1 for Blaine.
And I'm sure a source of irritation for the Coon Rapids staff is the fact that at least three of those turnovers that I recall were just exchanges from a quarterback and center. And you know, every play starts from there. We all work day after day after day on making sure that that exchange is clean. They're going to have to find out what the problem was. Whatever it was, it didn't affect Blaine tonight, so it must have been something between the quarterback and the center. It must not have been the ball was wet or something like that.
Both these teams are on. Will play again next Friday night. The Blaine Bengals will be at home to take on the White Bear Lake Bears, and the Coon Rapids Cardinals travel up Highway 242 to take on Forest Lake. After tonight's game, Coon Rapids with a record of 1-1 in the conference, 2-1 overall. Blaine improves their record. They are 1-2 overall, 1-1 on the conference. Mark, big game tomorrow for the Golden Rams.
You bet. We're playing Minnesota Waseca. They'll be in for a 1:30 game. Hope to see as many people out there as we possibly can. We don't know what to expect from them. They had a bye, their first ball game of the season, but we had a whale of a ball game down there against them last year, and we scored 3 times in the fourth quarter to win it. So we expect them to come in fired up and ready to play.
That's Anoka Ramsey Waseca. A game at Anoka Ramsey tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. The weatherman promises to cooperate. Should be an outstanding day for a college football game. For Mark Moberg, this is Bruce Frank saying, once again, our final score from Coon Rapids, the Bengals 20, the Cardinals 6. Thanks very much for tuning in, and have a very pleasant good evening.